And action. Well, I got the replacement BIOS battery. It was a day late, but that's okay, no hurry. I'm just gonna carefully, I have already taken off the other piece. I never put it back on from earlier because every time I try to remove this, one of these little clips seems to come off, and I got no way to repair that. And as I said, on old laptops, the plastic is brittle. So the first thing we're going to do, I'm not even going to attempt to remove this other battery because from what I understand, it's not needed and it's not leaking or anything. So I'm just going to kind of leave it for now. What I am going to have to do, there's a piece of, it's like wire or grass or I don't know what that is. Get that out of there. Well, let's get our handy dandy screwdriver out and hopefully I get the right bit the first time. You got to take out these two screws right here. Of course, I did not get the right one. Let's switch over to one of these. There we go. And we're just going to pull these two little screws out. And I'm not going to really keep track of these screws too much because I basically know where they go. It's only a few screws I have to take out. The hardest part I'm nervous about is coming up, which you'll see in a second here. And then this little plate should just, I think it's just like a little RF shield or maybe cable support. I'll put that off to the side. Next thing you have to do is go ahead and remove this circuit board. As easy as this should be, they've actually made this quite difficult. And I hope I don't damage that ribbon cable by moving it around like that. I'm always nervous with those because it is made out of plastic, I believe. So that is my connection for my wire. So I'm going to put that in a separate little area right over here. And I believe all these screws are actually identical. And sometimes you can't tell, so I try to kind of put them in the orientation that when I set them down on the table, I set them down the orientation that I took them out, so I kind of know where everything goes, especially when I'm just removing, 5 screws, hopefully. Next thing is trying to lift out this actual module, and you have to be very careful whenever you're doing this. And now I gotta move the keyboard this way. God, I hate moving these ribbon cables around like that. And I'm just gonna get and maybe there's a better way to do this, but I'm just gonna get a little handle on it. See how the wire goes underneath? I mean, it's just weird design there. I can't remember how I got this out before, and I have taken this out before trying to do a BIOS reset on it. And I'm just going to carefully lift that off. It popped right up. And then the connector, it's hard to see, but it's right underneath here. I'm not sure if I can lift that up a little bit more. I can't because I really don't want to disconnect that other wire. I might have to though. So black is on my left. Oh my God, these connectors are so small. It's just like, good Lord. Oh. Probably could have used a pair of tweezers. So we should lift this kind of up a little bit. I just need to get in there enough to get this battery connector out. With my fingernail, I got it. And black, once again, goes toward the left. And there's the battery that needs to be replaced. It's an older Varta battery. So I'm going to go ahead and take care of these leads. And I do not want to show that because I am not soldering them. I'm just going to splice them and tape them. And I know, but I don't know if the other battery's good, and I really don't want to go to that much work for it, and it's inside the laptop. So, and odds are I'm probably gonna have to replace it in another year or two anyways, because I honestly don't believe these batteries would last very long. So let's go ahead and take care of that right now. Okay, we got this all ready to go. So we're gonna go ahead and black to black, red to red, check. You wanna make sure, I think we need to go under this cable right here. Okay, hopefully this goes right back in fairly easy. Yeah, I think that's in. If it's sitting in there correctly. So we'll go ahead and move this back down again. Make sure it is lined up, because if it's not lined up properly, it's not going to work. Okay, it sat right back down. Perfect. And then we'll reconnect this little guy. Man, I feel like right now, working with some of these tiny wires, I just feel like a giant. What was that show back in the some people may remember, I watched it as a kid on reruns, but Land of the Giants. That's what I feel like right now. My hands just feel huge. Okay, so we got that first screw back in. Let's get this little guy. We're just gonna put him just like that, nice and neat. Hopefully, it's, yeah. I guess it sits the same whether I put the wires nice and neat or not. And we'll deal with the rest of that in a moment because I'm gonna have to move some more stuff around. And then I believe this screw went right here. And we'll just put that right back on. The ground, I guess. And then this one. So not too bad to work on. And we still got to deal with the metal plate. I don't know that it's really needed for anything. So for now, we're just going to leave that. I'll leave that off for now because it only takes a second to put that back on. I don't see any corrosion in there. And let's just get this laptop seated back in. Hopefully, seats back in. Well, what is going on here? There we go. All right. So the keyboard's in. Battery's hooked up. Let's go ahead and grab a plug. Plug that in and just go this way. Where do we plug in here? Oh, there it is. This laptop is nice because it just uses a standard figure 8 plug, I call them. And let's power it on, and hopefully we don't see any smoke or anything weird. I mean, I did everything the way it should have, and that wire isn't going anywhere. It's in such a small channel, that's why I wasn't worried. So it fired up right away, and so far it's been pretty good about firing up even with the other BIOS battery. So there's going to be a checksum because I did pull the thing. So I'm going to push the F1 key. Color, text mode, stretch enabled. I always leave that enabled. And power up should be boot. I don't like using the resume function on this. It just makes it act wonky. Yeah, looks all good. Full power, yeah, okay. Yeah, looks good. So we'll hit end and we'll say yes. So let's see if this boots to DOS. And of course, let me position this back up a little bit so you can actually see the screen a little better. I wish there's a way you could bypass this memory test. And the other laptops, you can sometimes shut it off, and it's just, it takes so long to get up to 40 megabytes. It's just like, ugh, crazy. So it's going through. Hard drive still needs to be replaced. I'll do probably one more video on this laptop's repair and restoration, which will be the final one where we put the actual solid state CF card adapter and the card in there and load up Windows 95 and put some games on it. But for now, it looks like everything is good. If there's any updates, I'll post them in the comments section below. But as of right now, it looks like we're in good shape, and I can put this thing back together. And all I got to do now is just power it back down and put this shield back on, which just involves the 2 screws and sliding it back in. Nothing exciting there. So there you have it. That's the BIOS battery replacement for the 400 series Satellite Pro. I'm not sure which ones had the same type of configuration. I'm sure there's a few others of this series that had the same type of thing. Probably any of them that had this type of display rather than the LEDs toward the bottom of the laptop like they were in later models. That's it for now. Be sure to subscribe, and if you like this video, hit that like button.